Right then, so this is part 2 of Karador. Start off right off the bat with the Nami death aspect. Here's what it's saying in part 1. He comes to play, search my library for any number of spirit cards, put them in my graveyard. And I have a number of ways of getting them all back en masse. A number of ways. I think I just have... Actually, I probably have Living Death and Patriarch's Bidding, so I have 2 ways of getting them all back en masse. Again, this being tribal spirits, there are no creatures that are not spirits in the deck. I used to have it, but I decided to focus. Speaking of exile and graveyards, this allows me to do it at will and get him back if Kakusho is in play, or I just Volra Stronghold him back to the top of my library. So, doing unto others what I don't want them to do to me. Burgeoning. Great with all glaciers. Swamp. Here's my Patriarch's Bidding. It's too late to get a foil one, because now they're, what, 100 euros? They're pretty bloody expensive. And typically I focus on foil permanents, because I like to see them in play. I love the shininess. Sorceries and instants are cool in foil, but since they're just going in my graveyard, it's not as imperative for me to have them in foil, because I'm not going to get to look at them very long. Unless I select Patriarch's Bidding, it's going to stay in my hand until the right moment, so I'll be looking at it for a while. Primordial Sage, 6 for 4/5. Now, what is he? There's a creature from Avacyn, one of the, I think, Avacyn Restored. It's 6 for, I believe he's a 6/6. He's either a 6/6 or a 5/5. So he is strictly better than Primordial Sage. It does the same thing. Whenever you play a creature spell, draw a card. But he's not a spirit. So that's why the strictly worse Primordial Sage is in this deck, because he is a spirit. Does allow me to draw cards when I play creatures. Kadam on the South Tree. So this is pretty cool when I have a number of creatures out. Cast another one. And I'm attacking you with my trampling spirits. Seek the Horizon. There she is, Kakusho, the Evening Star. Fantastic with Karador. Yeah, I'm gonna Greater Good Kakusho, draw some cards, discard some cards, and cast her again with Karador. Then I'm going to send to the Greater Good again. Stop that! It's how I kill you. I refuse to stop that. Ethereal Absolution. Another card that I've not had in play. It's a relatively recent addition to the deck, even though the card has been out for a few years. The exile a card from an opponent's graveyard. That's pretty much why it's in here. I'm not sure if 6 is going to be too much. If I need to cut something to reduce the overall mana curve of the deck, this would be a card that I cut. It's an enchantment, doesn't do anything on its own. I have to have creatures. What was the second one? Oh yeah, creatures my opponent's Krogan, neg 1, neg 1. Okay, I should pay more attention to my cards. I think the next EDH night I'll take Karador, just to see what these newer editions do, see how he plays, see if he's still viable. Tortured Existence, another way of snatching a card out of my graveyard from getting exiled for the most part. So I'll just cast it, have it sitting around, keep a black untapped if I have a creature in my graveyard that I want to protect. Somebody goes to exile my graveyard, I snatch the creature back. Another foil forest. Shiny. I love it. Arashi, the Sky Asunder. I never channeled him before. Never needed to. And I hardly ever use his ability either. Normally if he comes up, I just cast him as a 5/5. And there's often not a lot of flying creatures I need to kill, because this deck has a number of flying creatures, so usually I'm protected. But I've got that option. Got that option to start killing flying creatures if somebody's coming at me with an Air Force. This is another way of protecting my graveyard. So as long as he's out, I can't be targeted, which means I can't be bogged. I can't be fairy macabre. I can't be extirpated. None of that. Defense of the Heart. I've had this deck for a long time, and I think it's only come out once, and the one time it came out, the game ended shortly thereafter, so I didn't really get a chance to use it. Still, I like it. What is this? I forgot. But it's shiny. I should remember what it is. This I've taken in and out of the deck at least 4 times. And now it's back in. I love the art. I just think that's just fascinating. That's why I bought it. I buy cards sometimes just for the art. Sometimes I find a use for them, sometimes they just admire. This one, I saw that and I thought, I'm going to buy one of those in foil. I hope it's not a tournament viable card. And it wasn't. It's cheap. And that's why there are no non-spirit creatures in the deck. So if there's a creature on top, I will trigger Descendant's Path. Bounteous Corinne. Expensive. The 7/4/4/4 flyer. This is like revised level mana cost to power toughness. Legends level even. And it wouldn't have any special abilities. I mean, I remember Savitri Scarzum. She cost 6, and she was basically a blue-black crawlworm. Kagamaro, First to Suffer. This is one of the reasons I have the cards that put lands in my hand. Kadama's Reach, Culture, so on. So I can have a good number of cards so to make Kagamaro. I don't think I have any other Morrow creatures in this deck. And another board wipe on demand. There's the Poti du Kadama. As I said before, I like having either just a touch of it, a foreign card in the deck, or I like having a lot of foreign cards in the deck. So this one, the foreign language is obviously French. And I have a good number of French cards in the deck. Selfless Spirit. No, you will not be destroying my creatures. Lone Dweller. Normally he just kind of sits around, but once in a while I do start playing more lands off of him. Infernal Kirin. This is always fun. Always a lot of decisions. Okay, who do I target, and what am I going to take? Since it specifies the same casting cost, my choices are limited by that, though I still have to decide who I'm going to pick on. Some people get really salty about that. They don't like it. Clôture Fantôme. Ghost Quarter. Fits the theme of the deck. Spirits, you had spirits in the art. It's a Ghost Quarter. It's a Ghost Spirit deck. It's beautiful. Karma Guide. Fantastic Karador. If she's in the graveyard, obviously she's the first one I cast back out. She brings somebody with her during my upkeep. Yeah, I'm not going to pay the echo. Unless there's something black that I need to get past, or I don't want hitting me. Then I'll pay the echo. Another Ren Altar. And this is a funny story. He had a 5th edition Silver Library for sale. And I said, wow, could you alter that for me? And I'll buy it. And he said, sure. And he quoted, I forget the price, he quoted me the price for the altar. He didn't quote the price with the card itself. So I had to, when I went to pick it up, I went to pay him. He said, no, you owe me probably another 400 crowns for the card itself too. Oh, I thought it was for the altar and the card. No. Oh, alright, okay, here you go. And of course I just paid him. because he's a good friend. Does fantastic work. I keep telling him he should have some kind of sigil. He should put some kind of sigil, some kind of mark, some kind of way of saying this is a Ren altar. But he hasn't yet. When he does, if he does, I'm going to have to pull all my Ren altar cards out and ask him to put the sigil on it. Just so I know where I got them from. As if I would forget otherwise. Yeah, maybe I'll take these out. Bog, doing unto others as I do not want them to do unto me. That's just the way the game works, eh? Survie du plus apte. Survival of the fittest. French. Throw away a creature, search your library, get a creature. Feed your graveyard. Karador has things to play with. I'm really happy she's a spirit. I'll be untapping with you. All of you. To be honest though, I don't really have a lot of things that have tap effects, so pretty much it's just keeping land up for Tortured Existence and Vora Stronghold and keeping some creatures up to block. But she's a spirit. Fits the theme of the deck. She's in there. And she's helped me. So it's not as if she's a bad addition, a unthinking addition. She fits. Never heard of this artist before. This set, Robbie Trang, right? Robbie Trevino. I'm not sure what's going on in that picture. I really don't, but I like it. I like it a lot. The foil is beautiful. The colors really pop. Those butterflies flying around, or maybe they're spirits. Spirit butterflies. I like foils. He who hungers. Another way of sacrificing. This is great because I can choose any card to make them discard it. I often forget what Soul Shift does. What it does is, if this dies, I can bring a creature with the current mana cost 4 or less to my hand from my graveyard. I believe that's what it does. As I said, I forget. Be nice to have the reminder text down there. Catacombs. Ren Flesh. Destroy target non-spirit creature. Ah, I was wondering where I put him. This is a cheat. It's a cheating card because it's technically a spirit, but it doesn't say spirit. Though it acts like a spirit. And it can make everything bigger. Pretty nice with Cabal Coffers and Urborg. Make all my creatures as large as they possibly can and smash face. Here's my exploration. I love that. Ever since I saw this, or Saga came out, I just like the way the ship looks. It looks like a sailing vessel, yet it's got that big stack, so it must have an engine on board somewhere. So one of those transitory between sail and steam ships. Yet, it's not a... There's another ship here. It's not a stern wheeler. You can see it has no wheel at the stern. It's not a paddle wheeler. So I don't know what that engine is doing, or if it's just a giant boiler for heat. I'd have to ask Mr. Snotty. Cuvette de la Yavimaya. Yeah, all of my green decks have a Yavimaya Hollow. At one time, that wasn't so expensive to do. Now, if I build another green deck and I go for a hollow, that's 100 euros right off the bat. No, I'm wrong. 70. They retraced a bit. Now they're down to 70 for some editions, some languages. That's a card, though, that I really think is going to catch up. It's never going to, I don't think it's ever going to be a 500, 600 euro card. But I wouldn't be surprised if it hits 200-300 euros in a few years. It seems to be one of those cards that has fantastic utility, great, very little opportunity cost. It land, you got a green, okay, regenerative creature. Though not a lot of people play it, at least in my commander group. Eternal Dragon, another one I've had for years. Throw them away, find a plains, feed Karador. There's plains. Right under the Eternal Dragon. How appropriate. Now the final card, Blessed Breath. I can't remember the last time I played this card. It's pretty much in here. As a way of getting a creature through, as a way of protecting a key creature. Protection with color your choice. I mean, it's not hard to think of the uses for this. Maybe there's more efficient cards now. I haven't thought about this in a while. But anyway, that's the deck. That's Karador Tribal Spirits, Kamigawa Spirits. I hope you enjoyed this peek into this deck. Later on I'll do some gold fishing with it and show you how it actually plays out. Right. Cheers.